All right, so in the last lecture, we imported Kali, and now we're going to pimp it out. So I'm going to tell you what I mean in a moment. We're just going to open up our browser. I just clicked Firefox in the upper left corner. And once it opens, we're going to get this awesome script. It's the script I always run before I do anything in a fresh Kali install. So I'll say pimp my Kali GitHub. And it's the DeWalt-Arch repo. This script is the bomb. All right, so I'm just going to click code, click the copy icon there, then I'll minimize the window, open up a terminal, and in here, I'm just going to make sure I'm in the right directory. You can see I'm currently in the Kali directory, which is my home directory. And I'll just say sudo git clone Control-Shift-V to paste in the GitHub repo. I'll type in my password Kali. It's going to clone the repo, which is just a fancy term for downloading it. Then I will cd into that directory. And I just want to make sure the script is executable, which it is. That's what the X bit means for each of these. For the users and groups and owners, we can execute the script. So I'm going to type sudo./pimp my Kali. And the first thing I'm going to do is run it as a new user for a fresh install, for a new VM setup. So I'm going to maximize the screen and I'm just going to hit in. Let me show you everything. I'll scroll up a little bit. We're just running a new VM setup right here. And then after that finishes, we'll install the Sublime Text Editor with L, Go Witness precompiled with W, and then VS Code with V. And then your Kali will be pimped. And it's awesome. It just makes it so good. This fixes a lot of the problems that people have with Kali the first time they install it. There's just little issues that are just really, really annoying. And the script takes care of all that. All right. So let's hit in. It's going to take a while. So you can't just click and forget. You need to stand by and monitor. Occasionally, you'll have to interact with the script. So pay attention to what's happening. Think about what's happening and just follow along. And we'll do this together. All right. I'll see you in a little bit. And once this script finishes and we run the rest of the components for VS Code and Sublime Text, we'll set the DPI settings to high so that's easier to see. We'll also change the sleep settings. Actually, let's do that now while we're waiting. So I'm going to click the Kali Linux icon in the top. I'm going to go to Power Manager. In here, I'm going to go to System. And let's see, what do we want to do here? We want to disable the sleep. So for the display, we'll just turn off everything. We don't want it to ever go to sleep. We want our VM to stay active. And we'll do the same for the plugged in settings. Turn off sleep all the way. Security, don't automatically lock the session, so I'll say never. Lock the screen when the system is going to sleep, uncheck that. I think that'll take care of the sleep settings there. All right, so that looks good. Then we can go up here and we can say high DPI, or I think it's just DPI. Yeah, Kali high DPI mode. So we'll set the scaling right. So now we are in high DPI mode, and it may look the same to you, but once the script finishes and we close it and we reopen it, the windows will look a lot easier to read. You can already see the icons here are a little bigger. It just makes everything a little, easier to use. A little easier on the eyes, right? So I'm going to press Alt-Tab to go back to the script, and we'll just wait for this to finish or get to a point where we need to interact with it. And the other thing before I forget is once this is done, obviously we're going to want to create a snapshot. So if I press Control-Alt, I can escape the VM, and then I can go up here and I can say VM snapshot and take a snapshot. So we'll also do that when this is done. Just trying to give you guys a heads up on where we're going, right? I like to navigate in a way that you know what to expect. I don't want to surprise you with anything here. So just keep being patient, and we'll wait for this progress bar to keep marching forward, and we'll come back in a little bit. All right, so we're at our first stopping point, and you see a lot of red. So whenever you see red and it says read carefully, you really should. So what it's basically asking is, do you want to be able to log in as root? Because by default, Kali logs you in with the Kali user, which has limited permissions. But I like to change it to root because it just gives me more control. And since this is a development environment, this isn't a production system, this is perfectly legitimate. So I'm going to hit Y to install Kali root login so we can log in as root. And then it's going to ask us if we want to copy the files from the Kali home directory to the Kali root folder, and we'll say yes. But first we need to create our root password. So I'm just going to set it to Kali. I'm keeping everything simple here. And then, like I said before, it's asking us, do we want to copy the folders? Since we don't have anything to overwrite, this is perfectly fine, right? This is a new system. So you could say yes or no, it doesn't matter. There should be no discernible difference between any option. But I'm just going to say copy everything from home Kali to root. And saying, are you sure? Yes. That's because if you have stuff in root, you could nuke that folder. But since, again, this is a new install, we don't have to worry about that. I think that's the last prompt that it will require. And I think after this, it'll just finish till the end, unless the script is changed, which it can. It can change. This script is well maintained. But we'll let this finish. And then we'll come back and we'll save our snapshot. Oh yeah. All done. Happy hacking. That's what you want to see. It took me a while to get here. It took about an hour, maybe 90 minutes. But once you get here, we're going to rerun the Pimp My Kali script. But this time we're not going to press new VM setup. We're actually going to install Sublime Editor and then VS Code. So we'll press L for Sublime. I just think it's one of the best text editors out there. We already have Atom that came with the Pimp My Kali script, but Sublime is also pretty nice. And this goes by a lot faster. And then we'll just press V for install MS Code. All right, we'll rerun Pimp My Kali, and then we'll just put V. Installing VS Code. All right, so we're good to go. Let's close the terminal, reopen it. That looks good. And then let's make sure we have VS Code. We do. Okay, great. So what we'll do in the next lecture is we will set up Tmux. And then we'll install VS Code and everything will be well. So let's go ahead and create the snapshot. And I will see you guys in the next lecture.